Hello, so can you describe your initial feelings and expectations before you started your orienteering session?
Well, before I started this orienteering session, I was feeling excited. I was feeling ready, ready to take part, and excited to try and get the quickest score that my team could. I'm just excited to give it a go, as I've never done it before.
Perfect. So what was the orienteering course like? And can you walk me through any of the challenges you encountered?
Well, I thought the orienteering course was in good condition. I think some of the paths were, easy to get through, really laid out quite well. Some challenges that me and my team faced were probably finding the correct codes for the correct numbers, as they were dotted around in random spots, and sometimes we found some which didn't correspond to the ones on our sheet, so that also had to make sure you were paying some good attention to those.
So then what surprised you most about orienteering?
I think what surprised me the most about orienteering was the fact that our whole team had to use a compass, and we had to assign our different roles. One of us having the compass, and you really needed to get it to the precise one to make sure you find the correct spot that you go into. I was a bit shocked when I thought it would be. I didn't think it would be as difficult as that. Personally, overall, when we were completing the overall orienteering session, I believe that there were some positive aspects and benefits that came of that. I think our teamwork skills were put to the test, as we had to guide each other around in the correct order. However, I think we worked well as a team. We trusted each other of which way to go. We had a good sense of knowledge. I felt as though some physical benefits may have increased, possibly stamina, as me and some of my teammates were running around checking which posts were which, and as I was going, at some points our team were feeling down. We hadn't found a point in a while, but we didn't give up, so our emotions were saddening at that point. However, they kicked back up, skyrocketed to the top, and we felt more confident. Once the more and more we found, the more confident we felt like we'd accomplished something well, and we were going to get a really good score for our thing. And yeah, just working with the team, I think it really improved our teamwork skills altogether and helped us perform better, and hopefully will help us at some point in the future.
If you had to pick one moment during the orienteering session that stands out, what would it be and why?
I think there were a lot of standout moments in our orienteering session. Personally, I think my favourite was once we'd found the final point for our codes and maps. I think it was the adrenaline that, confidence was high, adrenaline was high, and we were absolutely ready for us to take on and just get back to the start, really, and just get our final time, because we had high hopes. We thought we'd done really well, and we had eventually done really well. I think it was just that adrenaline. When we were ready, we knew we'd got all of them, we just had to get back. I think it's one of my favourite moments. I think compared to the other outdoor activities I've done, I think orienteering was unique as it benefits the real teamwork skills, as you're working in small groups, and it really tests your emotional skills as well. Our emotions were put to the test. There were times where we disagreed with each other, so we had to really come together as a team and face the challenges ahead.
As you can see, coming up on the screen now are the pictures from our orienteering session. We have me, Lewis and Brandon. We were the perfect team. Before the session began, me, Lewis and Brandon had to use our mapping and navigation knowledge to work out what route to take, what was the best route for us, which ways we should go, and we learnt lots of specific skills and techniques along the way. Like using the compass was really, really beneficial for us, as you had to get the exact point in the woods, and it was some of them were quite obvious, some of them were not so obvious. I think we all have learnt now to use a map very well and a compass to a good use, and we were able to pick the perfect route, the quickest route, so we get it done as quick as we could. I think it was challenging to learn the techniques in the quickest time that we did. It was difficult to master it, but there weren't really many techniques to it. We sort of just went along as we went along, but I think we took it in turns on the map. Lewis was usually the map guy, as you can see there. I was sort of me and Brandon were sort of the compass and looking around for it. Lewis told us which way we needed to go. And I think, I think the skills are really good. Our skills for that are really good because you want to make sure you're safe. Especially if you go in the right way, you want to make sure you go in the right way. Because if you go in the wrong way, you could end up, in some rough area where you don't really want to be, and it's not really on the course. So you just need to stay safe. I think we all have developed our teamwork skills, and I think our problem solving and decision making skills to make the correct decisions on which route to take. I think that was perfect, and I think we made those correct decisions incredibly well, especially under the pressure of the timings, as we only had an hour to complete this. I believe we completed it in under 35 minutes, but we had to really concentrate and use our resilience to make sure we could just smash through it. We during our route, we had to discuss as a team which way it was, the correct way to go, because at some points we had two points, two routes which went separate ways, so we had to discuss, look at the map, all have our own opinions, and we took each one into account and just, we tried to decide which one was the best from there and how we can finally finish the orienteering session. It was difficult at times, but I think we smashed it out, personally, and I'm very proud of my team. These newly developed skills for working in a team, having excellent decision making, will be really useful in the real life world, outside of outdoor activities. For example, school, work. It would all be really just incredible, because if you're at work and you need a problem solving, you've got some experience with dealing with pressures or situations in high pressured environments, so you may be able to relax a little, become a bit more calm, and make the correct decision in the end. During the orienteering session, we did have to adapt to different circumstances. I think, for example, one of the gates was locked and we wasn't able to get over them, but it was saying on our map that was the right way to go, so we had to try and find another way around. So we stayed together, stayed as a team. I think that did slow us down a little, but we stayed together. We all came up with the right ideas, took each other's ideas into account, and we were able to adapt to the changing situation. And I think it's incredible to build teamwork skills, especially. I think we all learned a lot about ourselves on the orienteering session. I thought we were able to just be ourselves and able to really put our hard work and effort into it. So the instructors, they designed the orienteering course to help develop our skills by putting us into groups of 3, where we were able to work together as a team to obviously find all the points. Now,
they started each group off at a different point, so it was more difficult, so no one could follow each other to any of the groups. But we were fully prepared with our map and our score sheet, tick off sheet thing, and we were all really prepared for the orienteering session. I think I would recommend the orienteering experience for a friend and anyone who is struggling on working in a team with teamwork. I think gather a group of people, work together, grab the equipment, plan a route together, and I think it'd be a really good experience for them to see what it's like being in the unknown, trying to find specific points that you need. I think it's a really good challenge, especially for maybe a new work organisation. It would be perfect get the team together to see what they can do, and it also, you can create really nice memories, good memories, friends along the way. It would really benefit people, I think, and it would really influence some of their skills, and you can learn some new techniques. Personally, I've always liked working in a team. I've always worked in a team. I've always loved working in pairs, working in partners, doing team-based tasks. I think they're really fun. You can communicate. You can take different opinions. People that you don't necessarily know might have some more creative ideas, which you can also add, and it can broaden your horizon. Your imagination just becomes wild, and you just learn all these new techniques, and I love it. And it hasn't changed my perspective on outdoor activities, because I believe outdoor activities are perfect for introducing new life skills, and increasing your overall normal skills. I think it's just perfect, really. And I'm not sure if I would obviously continue orienteering, but I think I'd definitely like to give it another go in the future, to see if I can maybe beat my time, or maybe do a different orienteering task, or a different set which still involves navigation but maybe not orienteering. As I think it could challenge my different methods and give me different ways of handling situations under pressure, which can really help me in the real world, personally. Yeah, but I would love to try different outdoor activities to broaden my knowledge and give me new life skills, personally. I think that's what it would be.